From next door to around the world.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the 34th
Annual
Coca-Cola Scholars
Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation.
Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation
Celebration.
honoring us.
Honoring us.
Us.
Honoring us. The
2022 class
of Coca-Cola
Scholars.
We recognize visionary leadership and its enduring impact. Please enjoy this abbreviated version of our 2022 celebration for our Coca-Cola Scholars family, friends, and supporters.
Good evening and welcome to the 2022 Coca-Cola Scholars Celebration. I'm Jane Hale Hopkins, and on behalf of our entire team, the Coca-Cola Company, our U.S. bottling partners, and all of our supporters, I'd like to offer our heartfelt congratulations to the 2022 class of Coca-Cola Scholars. We are so proud of you and so pleased to be part of your amazing journeys. To be sure, it took a lot for you to get here, and I can tell you it was no easy task selecting this year's scholars. Out of 68,000 applicants, we chose 150 of you as Coke Scholars, which means you represent roughly the top quarter of the top 1%. To put that in perspective, our nation's most competitive universities have an acceptance rate of about 5%, which means getting into the Ivy League is about 20 times easier than becoming a Coca-Cola Scholar. If we look to athletics for a comparison, the average college football player has a better chance of being drafted into the NFL. Seriously. And what about NASA? Well, it's almost as hard to become an astronaut as it is to become a Coca-Cola Scholar. Bottom line, you represent the very best of the class of 2022. So congratulations. I know it was a special moment when you found out you'd been selected. I wish we could have seen all of your reactions, all of your smiles and excitement. But we were able to capture a few with the help of some amazing Coca-Cola bottlers. Let's take a look.
Hey, my name is Grant Baxter, and I am from Sheridan, Wyoming.
My name is Yvonne Dominic. I'm a senior at Blue Valley Southwest High School, and I'm from Overland Park, Kansas.
I'm Miran Bima. I'm a current senior at North Carolina School of Science and Math.
My name is Machuku Favor Osishima. I grew up in Nigeria, but I've been living in America for the past 5 years.
I've been here for the past 2 weeks as an intern at the Capitol in Wyoming. That's what's so beautiful about government, is that there's so much more that goes into it. Every little piece, every little thought, it takes a lot of work to make the country the way it is today.
I was under the impression that I was coming to my school for a district office meeting about my work and diversity club.
I came in here because I got a little note that said we're having a press conference.
Yeah, I was planning to go to the clinic, but then I see a huge truck here.
Yo, Miran.
We're delighted to be here today and officially announce and say congratulations to Grant.
We're here to congratulate you on being a Coca-Cola Scholar this year.
I am so proud to be a recipient of the 2022 Coca-Cola Scholar Award.
Congratulations. Would you care for a hug? Will you take one?
I just won the Coca-Cola Scholarship. I'm one of 150 winners across the country, and I'm so excited and grateful.
Yeah, I was really excited, and I didn't expect it at all.
You have been selected as one of 150 out of over 68,000 applicants to be a Coca-Cola Scholar.
I was just shocked to see that I won a $20,000 scholarship. It's almost surreal. It's a great encouragement for me to continue my work and just to be connected to sort of this alumni network of global leaders.
I have two younger sisters and I live with my mom in a really small town, but it's a great community. At church, I help with the kids' services and I also help with the youth musical. My mom was actually an oil industry executive in Nigeria. We moved here because my mom thought that it would be a wonderful place to get an education. I won the Coca-Cola scholarship and I think my mom made the biggest sacrifice when she showed us that by leaving her very nice job to come here and work 100-hour weeks and have people not even listen to her or care for her or disregard her experience, but she did that for us.
I was a janitorial worker in Texas, so I cleaned toilets, like a lot of toilets. And I feel like it really built grit, if anything, you know. I feel like it pushed me outside of my comfort zone, but being pushed outside my comfort zone there allows me to go outside my comfort zone in the future. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it isn't the most appealing work. It's not something that you're like, yeah, I clean toilets, but you know, it's something that I think at the end of the day, at least I can forever have a clean home.
I joined Eagle Scouts through my connection with my sister. My sister is actually already a member of Troop 10. The Eagle Scout is the highest scouting distinction that anyone can achieve. I would say less than 1,000 women in the world, so. For my project, I hosted a food drive for Community for Kids, which is a Blue Valley-based nonprofit organization that works to alleviate food insecurities. This nonprofit works with students ages K through 12 from all over the Blue Valley district.
I did a computational and a benchtop project where I designed a novel inhibitor for the oncoprotein NRAS Q61R. It's an oncoprotein commonly found in most melanoma cases. So next, of course, is college, and I'm planning to major in chemistry, but I think I might also do a minor in global health. After that, I hope to pursue med school and then, you know, do work helping people.
Hopefully, I'm going to major in sociology and ethnic studies. Hopefully, I can become a professor and help undergraduate students in their journey too, especially first-generation low-income students.
I plan to pursue biomedical engineering on the pre-medicine track. I want to do a lot of nonprofit work and do Doctors Without Borders eventually and do international humanitarian relief around the world.
I'm going to Columbia University this fall. I'm going to major in economics and political science. I'll probably minor in Spanish too. In 10 years, hopefully I'll have an elected local office. Maybe I'll be a representative because the age is 21.
My legacy is the people I connect with.
My legacy is giving the voice to people that don't always have the voice.
My legacy is making a more equitable future.
My legacy is spreading love.
Up next, we want to share with you another set of new scholar reactions. But this one has a new twist. We've never been able to surprise 3 scholars at once. And here's what happened when we did.
Initially, I see this red Coke truck pull into the parking lot. I thought, oh, maybe that's for the cafeteria, maybe they're stocking something. But then it loops its way around.
My head of school emailed us and told me that I was going to participate in this interview to talk about my senior research project. And then partway through the interview, a huge Coca-Cola truck comes in and starts honking at us.
I'm Rob Gehring. I'm the president and CEO of Swire Coca-Cola, and all 3 of you are 2022 Coca-Cola Scholarship winners. So congratulations.
Thank you.
It was unreal. I was just shocked.
Turns around and suddenly I see 3 giant banners and my name's on it, and I'm like, what is going on?
Shock and like utter happiness.
I hope to really work in public health and medicine and specifically help out our underserved patients throughout our whole country.
I plan to major in biomedical engineering. A really big goal of mine through my research and through my work with children with disabilities is making medical technologies more accessible.
In 10 years, my goal is to found a biotechnology startup and develop new technologies and softwares to help patients in hospitals and make a tangible impact.
My legacy is to help improve the medical experience of underserved populations.
My legacy is making innovations accessible.
My legacy is the patients and families I hope I will be able to impact through my outreach, research, and development initiatives. Thank you, Coca-Cola and Swire Coca-Cola.
A very special thank you to our amazing bottling partners for participating in these special moments of surprise and congratulations. Thank you to Hager Rand and his team at Durham Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Martin and Kenneth Williams and their team at Corinth Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Tura Sinhorst and the team at Coca-Cola High Country, Rob Gehring and his team at Swire Coca-Cola USA, and Junior Bridgman and his team at Heartland Coca-Cola. So over the past year, we've been working hard to think through what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how to secure our future. And we set a new goal for impact, reaching 10,000 Coca-Cola Scholars in the next 25 years. Imagine how much good will come from 10,000 change makers like you across our communities and our world. To this end, we began raising new support. And tonight, I'm overjoyed to tell you that in recent months, the Coca-Cola Company and our bottling partners have invested an additional $40 million in our future. I am so moved by this outpouring of generosity, but I'm not surprised, because this support reflects an enduring enthusiasm that has fueled this effort from day one. As we all know, most events and most celebrations must look to the outside for exceptional entertainment. But not us, because Coca-Cola Scholars are not just accomplished students and committed community leaders. They, or should I say you, are also creative artists of all kinds. Dancers, visual artists, musicians, writers, actors, and much more. Up next, we're excited to share with you an amazing collaborative work from this year's class. You'll hear the words of Ode to Youth, a poem by 2022 scholar Anouk Yet, and experience the diverse artistry and passion of more than 6,600 Coca-Cola Scholars. Enjoy.
I want to write an ode to community, to youth, an ode to leadership that's radical and compassionate. I want to write an ode to young people, to sunlight, to reckless optimism that burns perpetually. And this is an ode to young people and the ways we collectively duel the status quo for a more promising future. This is an ode to the way we demand tender action and never compromise for anything less, the way we subvert the unbelievers, the naysayers, the too youngs and too radicals, how we cartwheel through no's and objections, smoothing them all into the horizon, how we dare pessimism into perpetual distance, how we tumble through every hurdle, wide-eyed and glowing and unafraid, because here, falling is not failing, but just preamble to flight. Here, we are seized by an enduring fire, tending a desire to realize a vision that will not be deferred or forgotten, a vision that dreams young people unafraid, that dreams communities liberated, a vision that will stoke passion and be calcified into history, because here, in community, the liminal space between our dreams and reality is only as wide as the distance between our palms, is only as real as our desire for change, and let this optimism be our legacy, the one thing that endures through collective memory.
Coca-Cola Scholars, as you know, you're on the cusp of a great adventure, your first year of college. Tonight, we wanted to welcome a guest speaker who embodies not only leadership, but also compassion and impact. Someone who has made a difference as the right kind of leader, a leader with character and heart and a passion for serving and inspiring others. And tonight, you're going to hear from this leader in a conversation with one of our own, Mr. Darren Roberts. Darren is a 1997 Coca-Cola Scholar, Presidential Leadership Scholar, former NFL coach, professional speaker, and author. He's also served on our Alumni Advisory Board and our Foundation Board of Directors. Beyond that, Darren is a partner with Notley Ventures, and he is a co-founder of Amass, an end-to-end wealth launchpad and investment platform for Black Americans. He is the founding director of the Center for Sports Leadership and Innovation at the University of Texas at Austin, where he also teaches honors courses in sports leadership and innovation. And he's a proud father of 5 and husband to Hillary. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to turn things over to Darren Roberts and our very special guest speaker, the NFL Hall of Fame coach of the Super Bowl 41 champions, Indianapolis Colts, Coach Tony Dungy.
January 2007. I'm a third-year law student, and I am watching this Super Bowl that pits you against Lovie Smith. And at the end, there's this image in my mind of you hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and the confetti is falling. I think a lot of people forget that a few years prior, you've been fired from the Buccaneers, and then the next year they go on to win the Super Bowl without you. And I think about those two images of, you finally reaching that level of achievement. How do you navigate a high and low in such a short period of time?
I think that's one thing that sports really teaches you, that you don't win every game. You don't have success on every single play. You're going to have some setbacks. But when you do, they can become moments that catapult you, and you learn from them if you treat them that way. And I had some setbacks, from not getting drafted to then going to a Super Bowl team, to being traded, but then coming back to be on the coaching staff. And so you think about those things, and you don't let a defeat kind of set in and set the tone for you. So being here 6 years in Tampa and getting close to that pinnacle, but not quite getting there, and then getting fired, that was a hard pill to swallow. But I had to say, well, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to learn from this? Where do I go from here? And as my dad would say, how are you going to make it better? And that's the attitude and approach I took. And I went back into the owner's office, and I thanked them for hiring me and giving me an opportunity. I told them I didn't agree with their decision to move on and fire me, but I wished them luck. I wrote all my players a letter, hey, keep this thing going. You guys are close. Keep it going. So when they won the next year, a part of me was just proud of them and happy for them, happy for the city, all the things we talked about. But a part of me was, man, this is hard, not being there. I wanted to be there with them. But now I've got to take that same energy and put it to good use in Indianapolis. Then 5 years later, we win, and we are at the pinnacle, and I'm holding the trophy, and I'm thinking, boy, isn't it a good thing I didn't give up 5 years ago?
Because it would have been easy to just say,
throw in the towel.
You were in a prime position, right?
This
You were
is
right
not
there
fair.
at the precipice, right?
What happened? And that's what I would have said to my dad as a kid. This isn't fair. How could they fire me when we're this close? And my dad would have said, well, what are you going to do to make it better? And what I could do at that point was go to another team, put that same energy in, and see if I could help them, and that's what happened.
Now, Coach, I watch you in the fall on Sundays, and what's always interesting to me is when there's a team that isn't playing well defensively, you can see that side of you comes out. I mean, everything else.
I always have to say, I hope I'm not the grumpy old man on this show. When a team might score 100 points and everybody's talking about how great that offense is, and I'm there, no, it's bad defense on the other side.
I know when you started talking about coverages and safeties, and I said, okay, the coaching hat coming back on. Do you miss that part of your life, the coaching side?
I miss certain things about it. I dearly miss the relationships. When you come together with a 15-person coaching staff and you've got 55 players and you've got a common goal that you're going after and you get to know people and you know what's going on in their life and you're putting things together, that's hard to duplicate. You miss those relationships. But I enjoy being around the game. I enjoy explaining the game to other people. And I enjoy now that I have a little more freedom to do things like this and talk to the Coke Scholars, which if I was coaching now, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and it seems like, we've talked about your summer schedule. I mean, you're jam-packed with family activities, and as someone who's been in that coaching game, that time would not have been available.
Yeah.
If you're leading an organization. How has your relationship with your family changed since leaving?
I think it's been better, but it was always good. We lost a son, an 18-year-old son, when I was coaching in Indianapolis. And I called Denny Green, who was one of my bosses, and I thanked him. I said, Coach, I lost a son, but I'm so grateful that I don't have to look back and say, oh, I wish I'd have spent more time with him. I wish I'd have been home more, because you allowed us to have family life. And so I always wanted to do that for my staff members too. I wanted them to appreciate their families and to be dads and moms and not just be tied to the business. And I think that's really, really important. Coach Knoll told us in our first meeting, if you make football your whole life, at some point you're going to be disappointed, because football is going to stop being your life and you're going to have to live in other ways. And that's always been my motto and the way I looked at things, and I try to get that across to our players and our staff.
And you said there have been some head coaching positions that you may have lost because the owner wanted to.
I had a guy interview me, and I thought we were clicking really well, and I said, man, I think I have a chance to get this job. And we got to the end of the interview, and he told me I paid so many $1 million for this team. I forget the number at that point, but it's really important to me, and we want to win, and I want to win for our city. If I hire you, is this going to be the most important thing in your life to get us to a Super Bowl? And I said, I promise you, I'll get you to a Super Bowl, but it won't be the most important thing in my life. He didn't hire me.
But you stuck to it.
I had to be honest. I had to tell him, hey, I will work at it, but hey, we're going to have other things that are important, and I would not want to win and be successful, win that Super Bowl trophy, but know that I sacrificed so much for my family, for other people's families. That was the neat thing about it, winning. You talk about being up on that podium. Well, I was there, I was holding the trophy, but as I was looking down, saw all of our players and all the wives and the kids and the staff people and everybody had kind of flooded on the field. It was like our whole organization was down there. And I said, I felt good for all these families. I felt good for our fans and our city, but we did it together and we did it the right way. And to see everybody down there celebrating together, it wasn't like, oh gosh, Dad, our dads won the Super Bowl, but I'm glad they finished so we can, get back to being a family. No, they were excited about it too.
Coach, we have a question from a Coke Scholar alum, who also happens to be a Gopher. She's an alumnus as well from the University of Minnesota. So we're going to bring over the iPad and let you listen to this question.
All right, here we go. All right.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Miller, a 1993 Coca-Cola Scholar and fellow graduate of the University of Minnesota. Sky-U-Ma.
Yes.
Having served in the Army for over 24 years, I've noticed that high-performing teams bend over backwards to help each other. What advice would you give leaders to keep their people motivated to help others on the team, especially in a highly competitive environment? Thank you for your time, and go Gophers.
Yes, go Gophers. Hey, no, that's a great question, and it really strikes at the heart of building a championship team and a championship culture. The best leaders, the best players seek to elevate the people around them and make them the best they can be. And that's what winning is all about, and that's what I think high performance is all about. It's easy to say, well, I'm going to get myself here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to climb the ladder, but how can I make everybody else successful? People, one of the biggest questions I get when I'm out talking to anybody on the street, what's Peyton Manning like? What's it like to coach Peyton Manning? And my favorite Peyton Manning story, which really tells everything about him, my last year coaching, 2008, we've already won the Super Bowl. He's been the most valuable player in the league 3 times already, has nothing else to prove. Well, our first round draft choice that year was a wide receiver from Ohio State named Anthony Gonzalez. Ohio State is on the quarter system, so they're in school all the way through June, and Anthony can't come to any of our spring workouts. So Peyton Manning, who's in his 30s now, already a star, 2 days a week without the coaches even asking, he would get in his car, drive from Indianapolis to Columbus, Ohio, take the playbook, go over it for an hour with Anthony, throw balls for an hour, and then drive back to Indianapolis. 8 hours just to help a young rookie receiver. And that is Peyton Manning to a T. That's why he's great. But that rubbed off on a lot of our players and our people. Hey, I've got to help my buddy be better. I've got to help everybody else improve. And that's how you build a championship culture. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Darren, and welcome back to Des Moines. What a wonderful and inspiring conversation with Coach Dungy. Great to have him join us for this year's Coca-Cola Scholars Celebration. It's hard for a Hawkeye to compliment a Gopher, but we have always admired the way Coach Dungy has created championship cultures. And a big thank you to alumni scholar Darren Roberts for talking with Coach Dungy. Always great to see Darren. I'd now like to take a moment and thank some of the people who make all of this possible, starting with our board of directors. We are fortunate to have an extraordinary group of leaders contributing to the ongoing success of this organization as members of the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation Board. Junior Bridgman, Lisa Chang, Josh Dormany, Mark Eppert, Mark Francoeur, John Gould, Angela Harrell, B. Perez, Pam Stewart, and Martin Williams. Let me tell you, it is a real honor to work alongside this amazing group of people. I also want to thank the members of the Coca-Cola Scholars Alumni Advisory Board. They give so freely of their time and talents. Their leadership and commitment to the alumni community is incredible. Last but not least, we want to thank our amazing sponsors. Thank you to the Coca-Cola Company, all the bottling partners, customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. They do so much to advance the work of the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation. We are tremendously grateful for the faithful and generous support of so many people and companies across the country. What an evening. Thank you all for joining us, and congratulations once again to this year's amazing class of Coca-Cola Scholars. Before we say goodnight, I'd like to offer some special words of thanks and appreciation to the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation team. We are really fortunate to have such a strong staff advancing the work of the foundation day after day, week after week, throughout the year. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Carolyn, Lauren, LaQuanda, Erica, Jamie, and April. And thanks also to the president of the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation, Jane Hale Hopkins, a visionary leader, team builder, and collaborator. And she's here once again to wrap up tonight's event. Jane?
Thank you all so much for being with us this evening. Thanks to all of those who came together to make this night so special. And congratulations and very best wishes to the 2022 class of Coca-Cola Scholars. I'm delighted to have been able to help recognize and welcome this year's class.